Pittsburgh Pirates early on in his career. But it's the Dodgers and Nationals. Some Saturday baseball in Washington, D.C. The Dodgers trying to secure a series win. Joe Davis, Oral Hershiser have the call. We'll see right here after the game. Joe, take it away.
All right, John, another beautiful day from Washington, D.C. The Dodgers and the Washington Nationals in the middle game of this three-game series. We welcome you inside. Hope you're having a great weekend. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser. The Dodgers hit the road and hit the ball. The offense came to life yesterday. 13 runs, 5 home runs in that win.
Yeah, the pitching got some support. It was outstanding to get a W, but to get it in this fashion with the bats the way they did, you've got a lot of guys that are not proud of their batting averages, but the power they can be proud of and the runs they drove in are great. Now the top of the order is contributing. If the bottom of the order keeps it up the way Andy Pa has it going, this is some kind of lineup, and they sprayed it all over the field.
Yeah, you put it all together on StatCast. This is what it looked like yesterday in that blowout win to open this series and open this road trip. Now they hand the ball to Tyler Glasnow and try to get a series win. It's Glasnow for the Dodgers, Jake Irvin for the Nationals from our nation's capital when you come back.
This is the 2026.
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The hot mess is back as a munchie meal for Jack's 75th anniversary. And we're back in D.C. ready for Game 2 of this three-game series from Nationals Park. Unseasonably warm weather up into the high 80s today in Washington, D.C. Top of the order got it started for the Dodgers yesterday. Those guys at the top on the homestand drove in 10 total. And then they drove in 10 yesterday. Ohtani, Tucker, Betts, and Freeman all going deep. Part of that 13-run outburst on 16 hits. Best offensive day of this young season. And now the Dodger lineup presented by your SoCal Helpful Honda dealers as they try to repeat something like that with Kyle Tucker hitting after Ohtani and then Mookie Betts at short hitting third. Freddie Freeman at first base batting cleanup. Will Smith the catcher. Max Muncy's at third. Andy Pages in center field. Another huge day for him down at the bottom of the lineup. Alex Freeland's at second, and Alex Call gets his first start of the year against his old club. His old teammate is Jake Irvin, and the Nationals are hopeful he's ready to turn a corner. This is a guy who's been a workhorse but has gotten hit hard in recent years. Early indications are promising. Wednesday or Sunday against the Cubs at Wrigley Field, got a win in his season debut. 2 runs on 2 solo home runs over 5 innings, struck out 7 in that game.
Home runs are what he's trying to avoid, and that's trying to avoid the barrel of the bat. Last year gave up the most home runs in Major League Baseball, 38, and the most earned runs, over 100. So he's looking to improve on that, of course, but against these Dodgers, he gives up home runs, and the Dodgers hit home runs. He's lowered his arm angle a little bit, so these pitches might come in a little different style for them now. He's trying to get more movement, a little bit more east-west, and also some depth on the breaking stuff. We'll see what he's got for the Dodgers. They've hit him around pretty well.
So they go from Miles Michaelis yesterday, who gave up a Nationals record 11 earned runs in yesterday's game, to the guy that you just said gave up more home runs and more runs than anybody in baseball last year. They're saying, though, through spring training and one start, it is a different version of Jake Irvin. Let's find out here. Off we go with Ohtani fouling off his first pitch. Ohtani with his first home run, and he drove in 4 in that ball game yesterday. Wasn't necessarily pressing and wasn't anxious because he wasn't getting the results. He was more anxious that he wouldn't get much good to swing at. And that changed with a couple good pitches to hit against Michaelis, and Dave Roberts said everything changed with it. When he plays well, takes a weight off everybody.
He is the engine, and that engine is huge at the top of this order.
Down 0-2, stays alive. Here's his home run. It was the first of the 5 that they'd hit.
Very routine home run for him. It's a majestic blast for others. His best bolts are upper deckers.
When he doesn't get it there, it's like, geez,
yeah,
took a little off. Ohtani changeup as a hitter. High fly ball, deep left center field. Young to the track with Lyle, and it will die in Lyle's glove. That is way up there and didn't quite have enough to get out. So Ohtani's the first out of the ball game, and another guy who got to breathe a sigh of relief yesterday. Kyle Tucker, 3 hits, including his first home run as a Dodger.
Dave Roberts was asking his scrum, have you ever seen this guy excited? He said, not yet. He goes, but don't worry about it. You know, Will Smith, you don't see him excited except maybe when he comes through in the huge moments. He doesn't mind the low-key guys that are very even-keeled. Who knows what's going on in his stomach after signing the big deal and being in a new uniform and a new locker room with all the new teammates. But as far as showing it on the outside, nope.
On an 0-1 from Jake Irvin, he fouls it off, and it's 0-2. And they asked him about that after the game yesterday, and he said, of course, nobody's going to admit that they're dealing with anything that might come with the weight of the new contract. But Dave Roberts made the point, while it wasn't a new contract, he had a ton of pressure on him last year, too, going to the Cubs in the trade and being the guy that was supposed to resurrect their offense, and was much more of a headliner there than he is in this Dodger lineup, where he can fit in with a bunch of other stars.
It's really interesting when people ask about pressure or distraction, because you don't get to this level without dealing with it. You know, there's pressure when you're in the minors to get to the next level and to get to the big leagues.
1-2. Floated into center field, and a base hit for Tucker. Follows his 3-hit day with a first inning single tonight. So they have their first base runner, and it brings up Mookie Betts. Everybody that we're bringing up today giving you something good on. Mookie Betts at Nationals Park. Hit his 4th home run yesterday. 2nd one this year. Broke the tie after Ohtani had tied it up with his home run. Mookie went into the game 1 for his last 16, not feeling great. Came out of it feeling a little better with that home run and 3 knocked in. Now leading the club with 7 runs batted in.
Of the top 6 hitters in the Dodger lineup today, he's the only one below 200. The other ones have started to make an impact on their average. He's looking to do that today.
1 ball, no strikes. Irvin out of the stretch for the first time, fires. Sinkers in for a strike.
When will this game go from today to tonight?
What do they officially say?
I don't know. Is it
when is nighttime?
Sundown?
Good lead at first for Tucker, who is a good stolen base threat. Irvin will check on him, and the throw gets by Curtis Mead. Tucker will head for second. Mead's throw not close. Kyle Tucker's into scoring position.
That ball should have been caught. The error should be on the first baseman. That is a great pickoff throw right there, about shin knee high, right on the bag, and it just gets away.
So a chance for Mookie Betts to add on to that team leading RBI total. 1-2 on him. The Dodgers scored 7 runs total in the 3 games against Cleveland, losing 2 of 3 to the Guardians, before splurging for 13 yesterday to get this road trip started off right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Betts looks at ball 2. Dodgers now 5-2. That dropped the Nationals to 3-4. Washington had started this season 3-1, but have dropped 3 in a row now. First inning chance for Mookie Betts. Tries to lay off that frisbee slider, and does. That slider is moving 9 more inches than it was last year. Some of the best evidence of the changes that Jake Irvin has made. Everything's moving more, but nothing's gained as much movement as that pitch. Mookie's worked it back full, and now takes ball 4. Dodgers threatening to score in the first inning for the first time this year. And Freddie Freeman climbs in. He's gone deep in back-to-back ball games. Average still unsightly for him at .214. He was grumbling after the game yesterday. Yeah, I know another home run, but that average is so low. The guy whose primary goal is always to hit 300. Drills this ball to right center field, towards the wall and off of the warning track. Tucker's in to score. Betts is right behind him. Freddie Freeman with a ringing double. And for the first time this year, here in their 8th game, the Dodgers strike in the first inning.
Home runs yesterday, early rally today. 2/3 of their runs on the season so far come by the home run. Well, here, runners in scoring position. They're hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position, so that's the other portion of their offense, and Freddie makes it come true right there.
So 2-0 already. Freeman at second for Will Smith. Takes outside, ball 1. Now the Nationals scoring as many runs as any team in baseball, but giving up as many runs as anybody. And already 2 in the bank against Irvin as Smith takes ball 2. Will yesterday singled and walked. Everybody else is going crazy around him. Bit of a quiet day for him. Takes a strike. Into center field off the end of the bat, and it finds a hole in front of the center fielder Young. 4 straight base runners for the Dodgers, and they're at first and third for Muncy.
Sounded like it was off the end of the bat and a broken bat, but he will take it. Sometimes at the beginning of the season, it's easier to get in the rhythm of a baseball season when you get on the road. And that might be helping these Dodgers as far as the offense is concerned. At home, we have all the celebrations, the ring ceremony, the banner raising. You have your family. You've got your big ticket requests, people to meet and greet. Get on the road, and all of a sudden, get feeling like a baseball player.
A little freer.
Yep.
Muncy takes one downstairs. 1-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. Robert Van Scoyac said that his first chance to really dive in was on the trip on the plane ride after the homestand. And he said what he found is the bad luck that we've been talking about, that fell in those first 4 innings where the team wasn't scoring. And it adds up that didn't have any offense. So, but then he's looking in the late innings when they're doing really well, and it's like, well, the numbers would tell you that it's good luck in those late innings. And eventually he's saying, you know what am I doing? It's 6 games. It's a tiny sample. Of course, I'm going to look at it, but there's probably not much to write home about right here. It all becomes narratives because it's all we have. But just like you wouldn't want to say that you're only scoring late in the game because you're lucky. You got to sort of throw out the other thing too. And easier to move ahead, easier to say all that and take a deep breath after a day like yesterday.
It can feel a lot better because it's been good ham and egg. When they've gotten really good pitching, the offense has been a little flat but scored just enough. And when the pitching has been a little weaker, the offense has really exploded.
Thank you.
2-2 on Max Muncy. 1 for 5. Couple Ks yesterday for Muncy. Freeman at third, Smith at first. Already 2 in the bank for the Dodgers here. Another 2-2 pitch. Got him with a high cutter. The one guy who it has not mattered whether at home or on the road or what's going on is Andy Pages. 3 for 4 with a home run yesterday, now hitting .480. His 12 hits tied for the most in the National League.
He's been in rhythm, spraying the ball all over the field. When he elevates it, it's hit hard enough to get out of here. Basically, there is no cold zone. Pretty much he's hitting strikes and making sure he gets them, and that is unbelievable when you get a hot zone that big.
Yeah, last point you made, I think that's tied in, right? That hot zone looks like that because pitchers have to go there to get you because he's not chasing how he used to.
I think the discipline of early in the count of him looking for a certain area or a certain pitch has really made him into a professional hitter right now. And I'll say it's going to be a professional hitter if he keeps it up.
2 on with 2 out. Pages calmly takes strike 2.
Haven't seen him offer at much early in the count that's away. He's been offering at the middle in pitches and letting the pitcher have the outside. Now he's got to protect it all.
With Freeman at third and Smith at first, here comes an 0-2, and he got him with a fastball. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Jake Irvin. After the 2-run double from Freddie Freeman, Tyler Glass now, before he throws a pitch, has a couple runs of support.
Oh, hey, Jack.
Only the Brewers have scored more runs than the Nationals this year. Here comes their lineup today with James Wood to lead off, and then Garcia and Brady House, Dylan Lyle, C.J. Abrams, Curtis Mead through the heart of the lineup, with Bebas, Millis, and Young to finish things up. Tyler Glasnow's second start of the year. Already a 2-0 lead, already more support than he got while he was in the game last weekend. So even though he went 6 innings, gave up just 2 runs, settled for a no decision, but looked good.
It is great when you're on the road and you sit there on the bench after warming up and your team gets you on top right away. It just relaxes your nerves. Everything's free and easy. Here's the pitches he threw from the last outing. I guess we're not going to see them all. They were very quick.
I think that was actually Jake Irvin's.
Oh, they were? Okay. High velocity.
Back-to-back curveballs there. Will Smith's going to challenge that.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
Good bite to the first curve that he threw. That one hung up a little bit. Wood took it. Let's see. It's in there. Strike 3. Very quickly. An overturn call. ABS powered by T-Mobile. First batter of the game. Will Smith makes an impact right there.
Curveball, top of the zone, has enough bite to get slightly below the waist.
Luis Garcia yanks one down the line, a fair ball. Garcia with his 3rd hit of the weekend. It's a double. Tucker corrals it and heaves it in. And Washington with his first base runner.
Young team that likes to swing, they will chase. They start him off with a breaking ball. He's out in front, but keeps it fair down the line.
And something we just noticed, Miguel Rojas has come into the game at shortstop. Mookie Betts hit and took a walk. Came in to score on Freddie Freeman's double. And you wonder if something happened on that run around the bases, because Rojas has replaced him. Without even asking, we know Kirsten's all over it. We'll let you know once we get something. A 1-1 on Brady House. Couldn't lay off that high slider, and it's now 0-2. Fly to center field. Pages back at first. Now comes on, makes the catch. Well, 2 outs in this first inning, and if Glasnow and the Dodgers get 7 or more strikeouts in this game, you get a Sunday Jumbo Jack for free. LA area restaurants with the purchase of a large drink. Dodgers up 2-0. Dalen Lyle comes up here with 2 gone in the bottom of the first. Lyle tied with Andy Pages for the National League lead in hits, 12 of them. He started his season on a 7-game hitting streak, continuing what he did in the second half of last year when he was one of the bright spots for a bad Nationals team. A lot of good prospects that have come up, and a bit under the radar for him to be the guy that made the biggest impact. Right to Miguel Rojas. Yeah, that's the inning. Glasnow's able to pitch around the double and has a 2-0 lead after 1.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. 33 million trucks later, we've kept
wore their new gold jerseys and caps commemorating their World Series victory. Head to MLBshop.com to score the same ones.
2 runs in the first inning for the Dodgers. 8-9-1 coming up in the second. Strike one from Jake Irvin to Alex Freeland. Didn't have a hit yesterday. Did walk a couple times. And the swing decisions, the plate discipline has been really good throughout spring training. And now the swing looking good too with the adjustment that he's made. Pulls the cutter into right field for a leadoff single.
Dodgers offense is heating up. They've scored in 6 of their last 8 offensive innings. Had some crooked numbers mixed in there. And now they get a leadoff base hit from Freeland.
And they get Alex Call to the plate, making his first start of the year. First action of the year off of the bench yesterday. Drew a walk. So how about this? Alex finally has his name in the lineup a week and a half into the season, and before the game during Nationals batting practice, he's warming up like everybody does in foul ground on the infield third base side. And Brady House hooks a ball out of the cage and drills Alex square in the chest about 25 feet away, drops him. Teammates all hurry to him. He's laying there in agony in the fetal position. Trainers come running up. My gosh, did he kill him? Able to get to his feet, and soon after had a smile on his face, but a scare for him. And he's saying, you're gonna have to try harder than that, buddy. Once he was able to have some fun with it, you're gonna have to try harder than that to keep me out of the lineup. I get my first start here. A scary moment.
It was very scary, and he ended up with not only Dodger personnel around him, but a lot of ex-teammates and people from the organization here in Washington. Plenty of help, and gave him time for the pain to subside, and then he just continued on with the stretching with his teammates.
Brady House, you could tell how bothered he was, how bad he felt. And Alex said they're very close from his time together with him last year. Irvin throws 0-2. Call bounces one left side. Abrams will go to first for the first out. And he said Brady's a particularly thoughtful, sensitive kind of guy, so that I felt bad that he felt that bad, Alex said. Back to the top of the order, Shohei Ohtani just missed homering for the second time in as many days. His first time up, flied out to the warning track in left.
Irvin better start landing some breaking balls, because all he's getting hit with cutters and fastballs.
Ohtani pulls one past Bebas into right field. Freeland had to wait to make sure that it got through, so he stopped at third, and they're at first and third with one away.
Another one of the hard stuff getting hit. He's not landing the breaking ball in the first inning, only 2 of 7. Here's something inside, and Ohtani expecting something firm. Hits it through the 4-hole.
And has now reached in 39 straight games back to last year. Kyle Tucker with a first inning single, 4 for 7 in this series. Said his idea yesterday to get out of the early season slump was just to swing his way out of it. He said, I've been striking out more than I usually do. I'm just not going to get to 2 strikes. Attack everything, and sure enough, 2 of the 3 hits he had came on the first pitch, including his home run. Aggressive again here. Ball and a strike. Part of it, he thought he had been a little bit too patient, but then part of it was these missing pitches in the strike zone that he normally crushes, and fouled on those back. So the strikeout, just what happened at the end of the problem.
With that Ohtani hit with a runner in scoring position, even though he didn't score, they're now hitting .354 RISP. That's pretty solid. Between that and the home runs, that's been their offense.
Jake Irvin's 1-1 pitch. Tucker climbs the ladder and fouls it back. Strike 2.
You would think that the numbers for their offense would be a lot greater, but they had trouble in the games where they didn't score much, just setting the table. or getting a hit when there was somebody on first.
Now 1-2. Tucker watches it miss. Count evens 2-2. Yesterday was a big enough day statistically where it did kind of even everything out from the start of the year when you're looking at league rankings. Freeland's at third. Ohtani's at first. 2-2 to the plate. Misses, and the count is full.
The Dodger team stats coming into the game, the offense was somewhere between 10th place and 15th place in the National League, and all of a sudden now they're in the top 5 in most categories. What a difference a day makes.
The payoff pitch will come after throw over. Again, you saw it's not Mookie Betts on deck. He's been replaced by Miguel Rojas. As soon as Rojas is ready to hit, we do have an update for you from Kirsten on Betts. There goes Ohtani on ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So here comes Rojas, and we go down to Kirsten.
Joe, we heard from the Dodgers that Mookie Betts has exited the game with right lower back pain. So unclear if it happened when he was running home. We did notice that once he hit home base, he did walk relatively slowly back into the dugout, but we should know more after the game, guys.
All right, Kirsten. And the game immediately finds his replacement. Rojas coming up with the bases loaded. And already a mound visit for Jake Irvin. Rojas has looked great so far this year. 4 for 11, somewhat limited playing time. Comes on defensively for Betts in the first and gets his first at bat right here.
Opening day was a very special day for Mickey, and I'm sure that has fueled a lot of this fast start, just to really be engaged and get the start. Opening day, the banner raising, and it was a right-hander on the mound, which he didn't expect to play, but Dave Roberts gave him that gift, and he came through.
Oh, another chance against the right-hander right here with Mookie's injury. Bases loaded, 1 away. He squares and takes outside for ball 1. This was never a part of his game when he was more of a guy when he was in Miami, but as he's come to the Dodgers, he's embraced this as, hey, I'm going to be the 9-hitter most times, 8-9 hitter, and this is something I've got to be good at.
It's hard to safety squeeze with bases loaded with the force play at home.
Corners both pinching in. Rojas, no signs of the bunt this time, and he's ahead 2-0.
I think he was just fake bunting to draw the infielders in on the corner to give himself a better chance of getting a hard ground ball by him.
Little slash play.
Yeah, they're starting to creep back now. They stayed in close for 1 pitch.
You gotta have your light flash before your eyes for an infielder when that happens. Freddie Freeman waits on deck. Dodgers have 2 runs, but they stranded 2 in the first inning, trying to cash in on this chance here. Rojas sends a fly ball to center field that'll be plenty deep enough to get in Freeland. It's a sacrifice fly for Miguel Rojas, and it's 3-0. So it'll be first and third for Freddie Freeman, who delivered last inning with a 2-run double.
First pitch, little breaking ball slash cutter in the middle of the plate. He doesn't miss it. 7 of the first 12 Dodgers have reached in this game.
Look at that, Freddie. Your average is all the way up to 241. And here's another ball tattooed to right center field. This one's off the base of the wall. Freddie Freeman extra bases again. His second 2-run double in as many innings. Another Dodger explosion, 5-0. And those hard hit balls starting to find holes for Freddie Freeman, starting to poke holes in the wall. He keeps hitting them like this.
2 pitches, 4 bases. Back-to-back doubles in the bats right here. Same exact alley. One a little farther. Both work perfectly.
So do the hips. Will Smith sends one in the air. Foul ground at third. Brady House checking that tarp. Catching that ball. Ending the inning. Dodgers get 3. Freddie Freeman has knocked in 4 already. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich with freshly hand-breaded all-white meat. Just $5.99 for a limited time. Strike one from Tyler Glasnow to C.J. Abrams, a 5-0 lead. And I know one of the things that we're both looking at with Tyler Glasnow last year, the first pitch strike rate was the worst in the National League. And that's not something that he had always dealt with. He'd always been better than average. So far, so good. It was back up where it had always been in his career in his first start, and he's 5 for 5 today.
The only thing that's going to prevent him from having an elite year is health or the walk percentage. But as far as stuff and athleticism and just the way he goes about his business when he's healthy, he's ridiculously good. I mean, he has a great lever system, unbelievable arm speed, ability to spin the baseball, make him chase. And pretty much you get to 2 strikes, you're just not going to reach base. He puts people away below like 0.7, like 70 batting average. I think it's like 0.61 last year. It's ridiculous. 0.61.
Second strikeout. 1 gone in the second inning, and here's Curtis Mead. The Nationals just picked up last weekend on the Chicago White Sox, and they native of Australia. Fouls it back. Another first pitch strike from Tyler Glasnow, who said that he is not thinking, he's just pitching. And we've heard him talk about that throughout his time in LA, now in his 3rd year with the team. When he's free mentally, it allows that dynamic stuff you're talking about to play.
Yeah, he can get a little paralysis by analysis.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
Will Smith getting aggressive with the ABS.
Yeah. Did so for a strikeout. First hitter of the game. Does so right here.
It is a strike. Dodgers remain 2 challenges.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And he steals another strike. Dodger hitters not challenging hardly at all. In fact, 3rd fewest challenges for the hitters. But Will Smith's been aggressive and is now 8 of 11 in his challenges. He's top 5 in the majors. How often he's done it. So the count 1-2 on Curtis Mead. Let's go back to Glasnow, though. You're saying sometimes paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, and I don't think it like freezes him up or gets him nervous as much as he just has a lot of squirrels running around his brain of what his adjustment should be instead of just being an athlete and trusting his stuff and his mechanics. Sometimes he's just trying to fix too many things. It was that perfect balance between, you know, thinking enough and not thinking too much.
You had to fight that your whole career. I
Yes,
guess
for sure.
Still do your whole life, right? Once a thinker, always a thinker.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry to make you think about it.
Now I'm going to think about it.
Yeah, jeez.
Sheesh.
Dave Roberts has talked about how much Tyler's grown, though, in mindset. Look, the stuff like you're talking about has always been there, but the biggest growth is the mindset.
Well, I think his stuff takes him to a place where I could be perfect. I'm that good. But you can't, you know, you're still going to be human. You're still going to have good days and bad days. You're still going to have days where it's just flowing out of your body, and you're going to have other days where you're having to battle yourself a little bit and fight through it. But ultimately, you got to play baseball. Ultimately, you need to pitch. You're not playing mechanics. You're not playing stats.
Fastball flamed by him, strike 3. Third one for Glasnow. 2 away in the second.
The way the lighting is right now, they're going to swing at high fastballs because that's where they see it, and they're like, oh, a straight one, I'm going to try and hit it even if it's too high. They love looking at the straight ones in this lighting.
Already halfway to Jumbo Jacks. Jack Math. There's no promo at 3.5, so make that the halfway mark. Strike 1 on Bebas.
There's 2.5 day games in this city, but there's no half in Jumbo Jack.
No half. No halfway.
See, you got me thinking again.
Bebas off to a good start for the Nationals. Had a hit and a walk and a run scored yesterday. Waits on this 0-1 from Glasnow. It's a curve. It's rolled to first. Freddie Freeman with an easy play feeds Glasnow, who was retired 6 of the first 7.
Join the Dodgers for Hello Kitty night on April 13th. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will take home a unique Dodger-themed Hello Kitty hoodie. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Be good to see our favorite cat that's not a cat. April 13th. 5-0. Dodgers in front. 2 in the first, 3 in the second. Muncy to start the third and takes upstairs from Jake Irvin. Pages and Freeland to follow in this inning, after they scored 13 runs on 16 hits yesterday. Already 5 runs on 6 hits in 2 innings today.
Nice to get the bats heated up before we go into Toronto. Trying to win the series here today. Day game tomorrow and the plane flight there. Oh, Canada.
Such a good song. It's a jam.
It's not your home and native land, though.
It's not, but I can still appreciate it.
Okay. True patriot love.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Muncy. They're already asking Dave Roberts about that Blue Jays series today. And sounds like he's anticipating it eagerly. Should be some great environments there. It's a high fly ball off of the bat of Muncy. Young will wait for it to come down for the first out. It'll be fun to relive all the little moments between the moments, because there are so many when you go back and watch those World Series games. Game 6 and especially Game 7, that I at least find myself saying, oh yeah, that happened too. This guy right here had one of the moments that is hard to forget. Just after he checked into the game, the season-saving catch. Strike 1 from Irvin.
Do you think Kike was going to catch it?
I thought the World Series was over off the bat.
Kike playing in really shallow. Dave Roberts substitute Andy in there just to get the guy with a little bit more range. And talk about range, you go over into left center, then you run him off the ball, knock him down. Kike stays down. He thinks the World Series is over too, Joe. Andy goes, I got it. You got the ball? He goes, yeah, all right.
Ricochets off Irvin. Pages smelling it and getting there with an infield hit. You can do no wrong right now.
Leads the National League in number of hits now.
$13 of them for Andy Pages. Runner at first for Freeland. Singleton scored his first time, slaps it foul. You know, when the Dodgers won their first World Championship in 1955, Game 7, there was, and it seems like any no-hitter or any clinching game, you have that defensive play. Game 7 in 1955, Sandy Amoros, also from Cuba, also off of the bench, made the defining catch of that first World Championship. Yogi Berra hit a ball down the left field line that was slicing away. Amoros was playing in left field. He was shaded into the gap and had to run a mile. Got there to make a catch to save Game 7. Finally get the Dodgers over the hump against the Yankees, where they just could not seem to beat.
I love the Dodger promo for Will Smith's bobblehead, where they had him trying to get into Canada and the customs agent wouldn't let him in, or disappointing him in the World Series.
That's awesome. 1-2. I remember coming back after Game 2 of the World Series. Dave Roberts thought there might have been a little funny business there with air traffic control, getting them out of the gate, and he kind of processed. They sat there forever coming back from Toronto. Said, I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
After we lost Game 5 at home, and then they were headed to Toronto for 6 and 7, I was down in the Stadium Club getting ready for our post-game show. And the loss happens, and they happen to have a couple of World Series commemorative pillows down there. And I said, they're going to come back and win this thing. I'm going to see if I can get one of these pillows.
Strike 3 called on Freeland.
Went to the manager of the club down there, and they said, yeah, you can have one. It's probably not going to be a real exciting year after what just happened. I go, no, don't worry about it. They're going to come back and win. I didn't know it was going to be such a nail biter, 6 and 7, but I'm glad I got the pillow.
Was that wishful thinking, or did you have a reason for that?
I just believed in them. You know, that team was so talented. Homer Road didn't matter.
Strike on Alex Call.
And this team is so talented that home and road is not going to matter. Is it more fun to play at home in your own crowd? Yes. Is there a stimulus that happens on the road with opposing fans that you got a bullseye on your back? Yeah.
Pages runs. No throw from Millis.
If you're a winner, you understand how to deal with both stimuluses. People pulling for you and people booing you.
That said, when it gets to hopefully the last game in a three-peat, let's make it at home.
That'd be great. That would be great.
Ball 2 on Call.
The support the Dodger fans have shown the Dodgers over the years, and then last year, 4 million parade through the gates at Dodger Stadium. All the upgrades at the stadium. It's like a baseball game with an amusement park and great food all around it. It's fantastic. It's an adventure just to walk around the stadium.
The Dodgers' 9 world championships, only one of them has been clinched at home. 1963.
It feels like you clinched at home when the plane arrives and there's hundreds of thousands of people around the airport. The whole place is packed. Maybe it's not hundreds of thousands, but it feels like it because you can barely get to the team bus. In '88, when we got back, I got separated because of some interviews, and all of a sudden couldn't get to the team bus. They shoved us into a rental car van and just said, "Take him out of here." The police were ordering the guy.
Call's going to challenge this.
The batter's challenging the strike ball.
And you would figure this would be a strength of Alex's.
Getting smoked in the chest in BP.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Dodgers still have 2
It
challenges.
did not impair his ability to discern ball from strike.
Didn't affect his eyes. His chest might be sore with a bruise, but it didn't affect his eyes.
So he stays alive. So does the inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes on call. Ohtani waits on deck. Pages at second. Irvin comes home. Call. Pops it up. Backing out of play. Alex is the guy who honed those eyes as he was coming up to the minors through virtual reality. Thousands and thousands and thousands of pitches. He went from being a low-level minor league hitter to guys that long stretches in the majors where he's been a 300 hitter. Another payoff to him. Floated into left center field. Lyle's coming on. That's going to find a home. He wins the challenge. He fouls off another pitch. And he delivers an RBI single to make it 6-0.
Again, the bottom of the order getting the job done. The top of the order joined him yesterday and today. But the bottom of the order has been very productive. Dodgers now hitting over 360 with runners in scoring position on the year.
Gets Ohtani to the plate here. Home run swing and a miss right there. Singleton scored last inning. 3 innings, 3 at-bats for Shohei. That's the case. You know things are going well for the offense.
Yeah, they're 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position today. That's why they're hitting over 360 for the year. They've scored 6 runs today with no home runs. Coming into the game, 2/3 of their runs were scored from the home run.
Ohtani down on 3 pitches, and that's the inning. But they've scored runs in all 3 innings. 6-0. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Dodgers 6, Nationals nothing. Tyler Glasnow now 8 out of 8 first pitch strikes as he starts Drew Millis with a fastball. 3 Ks, just 1 base runner against him on a double back in the first.
24 pitches. He's only thrown 3 balls.
Wow.
Broadcaster jinx. Ball.
25 pitches. He's only thrown 4 balls. That's still pretty darn good.
I'd say so.
You're talking about his growth last inning from a mindset standpoint. Dave Roberts is hoping what happened in the postseason last year is that final piece for him to put it all together. Had a 1.69 ERA, pitching in some uncomfortable, tough, new situations, pitching out of the pen for a lot of that. Remember game 6, he came in with nobody out in the 9th inning, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Dodgers nursing that 3-1 lead. 2 pitches later, the game was over. He got Ernie Clement on a pop-up on the first pitch that he threw, and then Jimenez lined into the double play, and that was it. Tapper. Glasnow's there. Easy toss to first, 1 away. And then in game 7, back to that conversation about so many things happen, you lose appreciation for all of them. He threw 2 1/3 key innings. And gotta figure takes a huge amount of confidence and belief in himself from that. The 9-hitter, Jacob Young, strike 1. Young, who was 1 for 3 with a walk and a run knocked in yesterday. Grounds 1 to short. Miguel Rojas spinning from shallow center field, throws wide. Jacob Young's got an infield hit. For more on Tyler Glasnow, we go down to Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Of course, you mentioned that confidence he has on the mound, but he shared with me, you look at the numbers he had in September last year. He won all 4 of his starts, and he said it was right before that he had a bullpen in which he was talking to Connor McGinnis and Mark Pryor, and they gave him the recommendation to open up his back foot. He had felt that when he was landing coming down the mound, he was opening up, unable to really control himself. So by opening up that back foot, he felt like he could land in a more closed position. He said that was the difference maker for him. Just that little note of opening that back foot. He said it put him back in his position where he felt like he was back in 2021 when he felt like he was at his best. So that turned into a mental cue that he still leans on today, and it has truly changed so much for him, guys.
You strike 1 on James Wood with a curve, goes back to it here, misses in the dirt.
Opening the back foot, put the heel a little closer to home plate, and then that would kind of minimize the hip turn so that when he lands with his landing leg, he can land a little bit more closed and leverage the ball with his upper body. If your toe gets in front of your heel on your back foot, of course, that's going to open up your hips in a way that you can really spin off and open up the front side. But he's landing with a nice solid front leg, and just the whole upper body just whips through. Kind of like when you crack a whip, you've got to stop the butt end of the whip so that the whip can crack. But if you go to crack a whip and you never really stop the butt end of the whip, the handle, that whip's just going to kind of float through as it comes forward. But when you can take all that pressure and put it into your landing leg and stop the landing leg so that everything else whips, takes a lot of pressure off of everything. The throw comes from the legs then.
Does him being such a long levered guy and so athletic amplify any of those little changes, have him become even a bigger deal?
Yeah, it's the same thing with tall golfers, right? A short golfer makes a half-inch mistake, it's, on the right side of the fairway. A tall golfer makes a half-inch mistake and it's in the rough or it's in the trees.
Strikes out Wood, his 4th.
So yeah, it takes more strength for him to maintain and put those lever systems in the correct order and the correct foundation. But if he can do it correctly with the correct strength, he has the advantage because he has the better lever system.
Lower floor from a change, but a higher ceiling.
Yep.
2 outs. And the guy that's got the lone hit prior to the infield hit from Young, Luis Garcia, 25-year-old, who's the longest tenured Nat, his 7th year in D.C. Switch hitter, much better from this side of the plate. Pulls one down the line, and he's got his 2nd extra base hit of the ball game. This might get the Nationals on the board with Young's speed. He's headed home. Garcia's headed for 3rd, and he's got an RBI triple. 6-1 as Garcia drives in Young.
Kind of tomahawks this high pitch. And staying on top of it, he keeps it fair, doesn't hook foul at all, and goes right down the line. Once it gets into that corner, Young is going to run free and easy with his speed, and he would score easily. Gives this home crowd a little bit something to cheer about.
2 outs. Brady House stands in. Fly to center field his first time. Takes ball 1 from Glasnow. House yesterday singled and walked twice, and those 2 walks are a big deal for a young player who's trying to grow in that regard. He had 8 walks total last year in about a half a season in the majors. He now has 4 already this year, and has spoken a little bit like Andy Pages, a lot of it like Andy Pages. In fact, you could kind of interchange their quotes about their approaches and their goals this year, being selectively aggressive. Lays off a borderline pitch right there to get ahead 2-1. First round draft pick was House, and has always crushed the ball. 6'4", 210 pounds, really strong. There's too much chase in that first trip to the majors. Chase is right there, and the count evens 2-2. Thing that he has going for him is that while that bat comes along, he's been awesome defensively at 3rd. Came up as a shortstop. 2-2 pitch to him. Caught the outside corner for strike 3, and he heads back to the dugout without a complaint.
Celebrate Healthcare Appreciation Night on April 14th. Purchase a special ticket package for a Dodger-themed healthcare jacket. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Dodgers have scored in all 3 innings so far. Kyle Tucker, single, walk, 2 runs scored, and already a 3rd time up there to lead off the 4th. Jake Irvin comes home, and Tucker drives the first one he sees down the left field line, peeling into the seats and foul. Rojas and Freddie Freeman to follow in this 4th.
Top of the 4th, and we're already getting 3rd time around in the order.
A lot of new for Kyle Tucker lately. This new team, and also he's a new dad. Baby Liam. Born in March. And a bunch of the guys that have added babies over the last few months. Fly ball right center field. James Wood makes the grab, one away. Now, back in the 1890s, they were known as the Brooklyn Bridegrooms because they all got married. Maybe the LA daddies. Rojas, good father himself. Replaced Mookie Betts, who left the game with some lower back soreness, and had a sacrifice fly his first time.
His kids, I'm sure, are enjoying this game with Dad in it because they're on the road trip.
Sure, it'll be a fun trip back to Toronto for Rojas to relive greatest moment of his career. Moment that he said he had been dreaming of his whole life. And I know it's kind of hyperbole to say that. Of course, every ball player dreams of a moment like that, but to have it come near the tail end of a career where he's been so many different things, it just looked like that would be the thing that he never would be, the guy with the moment, makes it extra special. And he has enjoyed it fully. Good for him, as he should. He's at the Latin Grammys. He was on Wheel of Fortune this offseason. He has taken the victory lap. Irvin gets under that one, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bebas. 2 out. Freddie Freeman, who has seen 2 pitches and has 2 doubles and 4 runs batted in. The Performance Spotlight sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
If I'm pitching to him right now, I'm throwing the first pitch for a ball. I'm not letting him have 3 hits with 3 pitches.
With those 2 doubles, he has tied and passed Chipper Jones on the all-time list. 550 doubles in his career. Puts him 31st. And I'm sure I'll get questions about it after the game. I'm excited to talk to him about it tomorrow because I know Chipper was a meaningful guy in his career. Kind of a passing of the torch. Chipper was the guy of the 90s and the 2000s in Atlanta. It was at the tail end of his career when young Freddie came up and was the next face of the franchise.
Chipper was a very tough out. Even in his rookie year, it was like, whoa, who is this guy? Just couldn't find holes.
Freddie has given him a lot of credit for developing his all fields approach, something that his swing was always sort of tailored to do. But Chipper was in his ear every day when he got up there in 2010 about the importance of doing that.
Hard to play defense to guys that spray it around the field. You get more RBIs because they have to play a little bit more conventionally the way you hit. Freddie very good at going to the left side.
Digs this one out down the left field line. Lyle is over there. And there's the first clean into the game for Jake Irvin. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Tyler Glasnow continues to pound the strike zone. There's strike one to Dalen Lyle.
12 of 13 batters. First pitch strike.
And only 44 pitches. One pitch into the fourth inning right here. I think a good testament to what we're talking about. His growth and reliability is where he is in the order in the rotation between the two question marks, and Emmett Sheehan and Roki Sasaki. And that is intentional for the Dodgers, putting him in there, knowing that you may have longer days for the bullpens on either side of him. Lyle to left center field. Call is there.
We might see our first pitcher go farther than 6 innings. Yamamoto has done it twice. Glasnow has done it once, and Ohtani has done it once.
C.J. Abrams took a ball. Sasaki going tomorrow, final game of this series, but middle part of this 6-game road trip with Blue Jays looming on Monday. And credit to Sheehan for getting into the 6th inning of that game, even on a day where it was not great. Was able to make sure that the bullpen didn't have to wear it.
The run support helped Mark Pryor and Dave Roberts leave him out there. Some room to breathe and still secure a W.
One and two on Abrams. 2-2 on him. The kid they called the Alien. Bigger, faster, stronger, just like from another planet as a kid. And he had a big head. Oh.
That one was close. I thought we might get a helmet tap. Well, good job, Will.
He's proven to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
This new dimension of things. That's inside and ball 4. Abrams earns the first walk of the day. Now we get a word from California colleges.
Start your future at a California community college. Enroll today and apply for financial aid at icangotocollege.com.
Curtis Mead had a long at bat his first time before succumbing to a high fastball. That's one of the 5 strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow to go along with that first walk. Heater to the knees, sinker, one of the 2 heaters, and a pitch that has helped him go to another level this last year plus as he's thrown it more and more. Threw another, went around, strike 2.
That one had some teeth to it.
He started to really like throwing it, he said, because it's the one pitch, or last year was the one pitch when he wasn't feeling right mechanically. It didn't matter. He didn't feel like he had to be perfectly synced up, and he was still able to throw it in the zone. Dave Roberts said it is widening the plate for him. There goes Abrams, pitches outside, throw from Smith, not in time. Abrams steals second.
Down by 5 with the 1 out. They know they're not going to string a whole bunch of hits together because Glasnow is so good. They have been a very good offensive club so far this year. The pitching has let them down. But right here with Glasnow throwing the ball the way he is, they're trying to get into scoring position and do.
2-2 on Meade. Who has battled glass now both times he's been up there.
Better lighting this at bat. Last one he had the light of the mound and the shadow at the plate and chased the high fastball.
Boy, have we been blessed with this weather this weekend. Just so beautiful.
Yeah.
You see Washington on the first road trip early April. You don't picture this. Down the line, past a diving Muncy. So this time Meade wins the battle, turns the corner with an RBI double, 6-2. His first hit, his first run batted in with his new club.
Out in front, didn't hit it real hard, but hit it at the right exact spot down the third baseline. Almost grazes the bag. Max might have got a glove on it and got it in his glove, but he wouldn't have been throwing anybody out.
So man at second, one away for Bebas. Takes downstairs from Glasnow. Former Dodger minor leaguer, traded to the Yankees and then picked up by the Nationals off waivers.
Before the Meade double, Washington had a single, a double, and a triple. We know the Dodgers don't want them to hit for the cycle.
Then offense has not been the problem for the Nats so far. It's been stopping the other one. Number one in the majors, 283 coming in. 1-2. Glasnow fires in the dirt. 2-2.
At Washington, you say there's no problem with their offense, but their pitching, they are one of three teams where the relievers have more innings than the starters. The other two are Colorado and the White Sox.
Not teams you want to be in the same room as.
Nope.
In the same list with. Another 2-2 to Bebas. Wave and a miss over the curve. Glasnow with his 6th K, 2 out in the 4th.
Two-strike curveball that shuts him down. Meade hit a double with a two-strike curveball. Opponents last year on a two-strike curveball from Glass, 6 for 67 and 090 batting average. So got back to what he normally does there with that punch out.
And there's the numbers since coming to the Dodgers overall. And the #1 curveball in the majors. Uses it for a strike on Millis. No starting pitcher throws it this hard with this much drop. It drops almost 5 feet from its peak. Doubles up, 0-2.
It's fallen off a mountain with his height. He's got more room before it touches the ground.
Millis, the catcher, grounded out his first time, 2 for 12 on this young season, sharing the time with Keibert Ruiz. Got Meade at second, 2 away. Glasnow an 0-2, goes to a 3rd consecutive curveball to finish him off. Nationals get a run, but still trail 6-2. Tyler Glasnow, 7 strikeouts through 4. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Dodgers scored 6 runs over the first 3 innings. They got a 6-2 lead, and they're already into the Washington bullpen. This is Brad Lord, who's been back and forth between the rotation and the pen and can give him some length. 2 outings this year, 5 1/3. Will Smith leads off and takes a strike. So that pen that has been used as much as any in baseball going to get used a bunch again today. 4 2/3 yesterday with a shortstop start from Michaelis. Even shorter today from Irvin. The back-to-back defending champs very quickly stomp out some of that brewing excitement around Jake Irvin's start to the season.
Yeah, Dodgers trying to hand Washington their 4th straight loss and win the series right here and then sweep it tomorrow. Good start so far to this series.
For Smith, 1 for 2 in this game. And a 1-2 pitch from Lord takes it low. Likely have Dalton rushing in there getting a start tomorrow. Tasker Hernandez will be back in the lineup tomorrow. Dave Roberts telling us, though, Alex Call will get another start. Kyle Tucker will get his first day off.
We're going in Toronto on the turf, so he's going to try to make sure everybody's legs are ready. It's kind of sad that Mookie Betts tweaked his back here because back injury going to turf is not good.
Smith into center. Young won't get there. Second hit for Will Smith.
Your back takes a pounding when you're on the turf. Backs and legs and hamstrings and quads. Got to really make sure you're hydrated, make sure you don't do anything too strenuous on the turf.
And they've made advancements in the technology of that surface through the years, but guys will still tell you not quite like playing on grass. Muntz is still trying to reach for the first time. Everybody else has done so.
The dirt below the grass is softer than cement. That padding is, you're right, but it's still it's an odd feel. And what your spikes do and what your turf shoes do, completely different than on grass.
There's Muncy getting in the hit column, stroking a base hit to right center. And they greet Lord with back-to-back hits.
Little east-west movement on the ball, but it stays flat, so Max keeps it right on the barrel.
Ducks on the pond for Pages. 1 for 2, single and another run score. Dodgers 5 out of 8 today with runners in scoring position. They've got these 6 runs without a homer. Strike on the outside corner to Pages. One of the underrated things that Andy has done this year and on this team is thrive as a young guy on this particularly old leaning roster. One, it's hard to break in because you got so many veteran stars. 2, once you do, hard to find guys that you can be buddy with and relate with. And Andy has been an exception in recent years. Got to come up through the system and find a way to crack through. The 1-1 pitch from Lord to Pages. Lifted to left field and deep. Lyles going back, stepping onto the track. Andy Pages. Wow! What a stud. 3-run home run from Andy Pages. And there has been no better hitter in baseball the first couple of weeks of the 26th season than Pages.
Be young, but he's playing like an old soul. He is really swinging the bat well. We've seen him go to right field on slow breaking balls and now turning on a high fastball for a dinger. And increase his lead in hits now to 14. The National League, #1.
14 hits, 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. And so they can check that box too. They now have a home run today, and they've got 9 runs total. So in this series, in 14 innings of offense, 22 runs on 27 hits. Offense fully awake. 1-2 on Freeland.
That's right.
Nice grab. Who was that? Chico. Chico rides again.
And if you catch the home run and that was your called shot, it's worth a lot of points out there.
Chop it to first. Meade takes it himself. There's the first out. Andy Pages this year, Dr. Krajewski tells us, has 14 hits, 10 swings and misses.
Oh my.
Alex Call hit and a walk in his first start.
And a successful challenge. Successful challenge that gave him a chance to have a bloop hit.
Knocked in a run back in the third. Down the line, won't be an easy play here. House loads up, chucks it across, just in time. Second time he's gotten called today. Once in the chest, once in the fifth. You're just tuning in saying, what the heck? House is the guy who hit him during batting practice with a ball in the chest. And he takes a hit away from him right here. 2 outs, bases clear. Ohtani up. Shohei's 1 for 3. Single with a run scored. Strike 2. Two and two. Ohtani grounds one towards the middle, past the dive of Bibas in his second hit. His second, the team's 12th.
Season high 16 hits yesterday, season high 13 runs, season high 5 home runs all yesterday. They might go after the 16 hits today. They might go after the 13 runs. I don't think the 5 home runs. I think that's pretty safe.
Inning still going. Kyle Tucker, who's got a hit and a walk and a couple runs scored, watches a strike. So the Japanese star, the Dodgers, Ohtani, with a 2-out hit here. Another Japanese star having a big start in Chicago for the White Sox. Munetaka Murakami with his 4th home run in his first 8 games. That's a new record for a player from Japan. Breaking Ohtani's. The 3 over his first 8. White Sox beat the Blue Jays today. The 1-1 pitch to Kyle Tucker, high and away. Fun seeing Connor Griffin make his debut yesterday for the Pirates. We were talking about that. He had an RBI double in his first at bat. 2-2 on Tucker. This has been the year of the rookies so far. Rookie numbers are the best they've ever been this far into the year. And rookies as a group are hitting better than the league by far. The OPS for rookies is 150 points higher than the league OPS.
Young man's game, huh?
Yes. There have been 5 guys that have homered in their debut. That's as many as the previous 2 years combined. And 5 of them already this year. Head start coming for Ohtani. There it goes. Here it comes. We'll do it again. That's ball 4.
Another opportunity with a runner in scoring position. Miguel Rojas gets this one.
Seems like they're all getting these. All getting chances to do this. Rojas off of the bench for Betts today. Sacrifice fly his first time.
There's 7 different Dodgers that have had multi-hit games in only a game and a half in this series. Pages has in multi-hit game in both games. Ohtani has a multi-hit game in both games, and then Freeman, Tucker, Betts, Teo, and Smith all got it yesterday.
Gus Varlin, who pitched yesterday, let's see, he's going to pitch again soon.
These guys in this bullpen are going to need some ice. They're going to use a lot of ice throughout the year. They're going to be up and in a lot.
The Lord, somebody they would like to be able to get a few innings out of. 29 pitches in this 5th. Here comes to Rojas. Strike 1. And so Varland maybe just, if he can't get out of this inning, come on and finish it. But if Lord is to get through this, wouldn't be surprised to have him continue. This game seemingly getting out of hand. Oh, and 2 on Rojas. Get off me ball. Right back to Lord. And we are halfway home in Washington, D.C. Andy Pages just keeps on doing it. A 3-run home run and a 9-2 lead for the Dodgers. Tyler Glass now 7 strikeouts over 4 innings, and so he's got you your free jumbo jack for tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area restaurants. 9-1-2 for the Nationals in the bottom of the 5th. 9-2 the Dodgers are in front. Here are those 7 Ks.
5 with the curveball, and we've seen how sharp that's been and how big a break it has today.
He can get his strikeouts just with raw stuff most of the time, but when he's getting ahead the way that he is today, good luck. 0-2 on Young. Little low. Will Smith going to challenge that?
Catcher's challenging the ball call. The pitch is a ball.
ABS
LA
is
Dodgers
powered
have
by
1 count
T-Mobile.
left.
And the count was 1-1, not 0-2, so now it's 2-1. Jacob Young, who scored their first run after singling in the 3rd. Any offense they get from Young, they'll take. Elite center fielder defensively. Very little offense throughout his first few seasons in the big leagues. A relatively productive weekend, though. He's got a couple hits and a walk, knocked in a run, scored a run. Three balls and 2 strikes. Last now at 72 pitches. Now the payoff. Ground ball left side. Rojas circles around it. Fun to watch him play defense. Smooth. The first out.
To be able to get around that ball, you not only have to have a good first step and the route, but you have to be able to anticipate that the ball is going to be hit to your right. And Miguel does that, and other infielders do that by watching where the pitch is and anticipating that it's going to get pulled.
Ball on James Wood. The first big move of this rebuild for the Nationals was trading Juan Soto. If you're going to trade Juan Soto, you better nail that trade. And by all measures, the Nationals did. They got James Wood. They got C.J. Abrams. They got Mackenzie Gore. All 3 of those guys have turned into all-star players for them. Now they've traded Gore to the Texas Rangers and gotten a haul of prospects for him. It's amazing you make that trade and still you have to go the way that it goes, but still aren't any closer to where you're trying to rebuild to.
Yeah, they need some pitching. Offense looks like it's going to be sound.
So they're kind of going into a rebuild with the new front office coming in. Wood on 3-1. Cracks one down the line. Foul. He becomes sort of the new face of the franchise, and easy for him to be that, or at least for the franchise to make him that, because not only is he a good player, but he's from here. He's from Olney, Maryland, which is like a half an hour from the ballpark. He's not necessarily a guy that loves the spotlight or is going to invite any of that into the picture, but hard to deny it when you're as good of a player as he is and you're the local guy. It kind of comes with the territory. That also, of course, brings some pressure with it. He's still just 23 years old, only in his 3rd year in the major leagues. 31 home runs last year in his first full season, but he also, as we talked about yesterday, led the majors in strikeouts. 2 more of them today against Glasnow. 3-2. Driven in the air to center field. Pages to the track. Pages sizes it up and just has enough room in the little cutout there in left center field. Two away for Garcia. It's been the one guy that stuck around through all this rebuilding. Debuted in the short 2020 season. Yeah, everybody else has come and gone. Some guys have left and come back, but he's been here throughout. Playing a new position this year. Bat's been solid. Defensively was not very good at second base. First base has been a problem for them. They said, hey, let's keep his bat in the picture. Let's have a stopgap over at a position that's been a problem. So he slid over there. Lofts a fly ball to left field for Alex Call. Routine fifth inning for Tyler Glasnow, who's got a 9-2 lead as this game rolls to the sixth.
Celebrate our classroom teachers on April 11th. Purchase a special ticket pack for an exclusive Teacher Appreciation Night crew neck sweater. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
That looks sweet. Freddie Freeman leads off, grounds the first one he sees wide of the bag and foul.
I never get to see the promotions because I'm reading the cue card on my monitor. So you get to see the pictures and I see the words.
It'll be that much cooler when you get to see it in person.
I can't wait.
April 11th.
That crew neck, I'm going to dream about it.
How can you dream about something you haven't seen?
I'm imagining what it looks like.
Freeman lofts his ball to left. Lyle's going back. He's got it for the first out of the sixth.
My wife was a teacher, so it's a big appreciation night in our family.
Mom goes to college. Will Smith, 2 for 3.
Is that a movie line?
That's Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay. You're going to tell me to go home tonight and watch it.
Never a bad decision, that one. Couldn't lay off Lord's first pitch. Now an 0-1 comes back into the zone, tapped along the mound. Barehand pickup. House can't pull the trigger though. Will Smith has an infield hit, his third knock of the day. And it brings up Max Muncy, who's the last guy to get in the hit column his last time up, or at least to get in the on base column. We got a single, came in to score. Hacks at the first pitch and fouls it off. 0-2.
Lord keeping the ball down right here, trying to get Max Muncy to ground into a double play. Working from the knees down so far.
Now goes up. 2-2.
Max is very good at taking a low pitch, even something below the knees, and getting under it. Dropping the head of the bat underneath it and lifting it.
There's that man, that night deck. Up the middle, did get that ground ball, and how about 6-5-3? Not in time at first, though.
Six in the right position, 5 coming across, 1 too many steps to get to the bag. Ooh, that was really close.
So 1 on with 2 out. Pages, the hitter, takes the first one downstairs. 14 out of 18 after his 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Leading the majors with those 14 hits. He got his 14th hit last year on April 25th. He got his 3rd home run last year on April 22nd. Consider the slow start of last year. You consider the miserable finish of last year. It was 4 for 51 in the postseason. To come out of the gates like this, and in a lineup of former MVPs, future Hall of Famers, it's a guy down hitting 7th and 8th most days. That's been the shiniest star of them all so far. On a 1-2 from Lord, Pages takes it in the dirt. 2-2.
And he hasn't had many lucky hits at all. He has hit the ball hard. He has hit it to all fields, and he's hit it over the fence.
Two. Up the middle. Bebas gets Pages, who's gotten to the territory. It's a surprise when he doesn't hit it hard and find a hole. Middle 6, 9-2. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Heffernan, because you're different. Happy Dodger birthday today to Gil Hodges, the Hall of Fame first baseman. Tyler Glasnow back at it, strike one on Brady House to open up the bottom of the 6th inning. He was showing off in that picture those big old hands. He had hands so big that Pee Wee Reese said he only wore a glove over there at first base because it was fashionable. 0-2 on House. Got to the Dodgers as a backup catcher, but then Roy Campanella was coming. They said, we want to find a place for this Hodges kid to play. Go on and give first base a try. Went on to hit second most home runs in franchise history, only Duke Snider more. Best first baseman of the 1950s, and by all accounts was just the nicest guy. 1952 World Series. We're talking about Pages, his struggles in the postseason. The 52 World Series, Gil Hodges went 0 for 21. Came up to the plate 26 times. Didn't have a single hit. But as a testament to how the fan base felt about him, he would get hundreds of letters a day from fans encouraging him. It's outside 2-2 on House, and he said he didn't get a single bad word. Everybody was pulling for him. Glasnow and Doug Eddings going at it a little bit here, and I think Glasnow said, I'm not talking to you.
Will Smith has caught the fastball away so well, it fakes out Glasnow that it's a strike.
And so curveball eliminates any doubt. He's got his 8th K.
Now, Will has fooled me a little bit with the way he has snatched the ball from the ball off the plate to bring it in on the plate. And so that is the reason the Dodgers don't want the pitchers challenging, because the framing of a good catcher can fool your own pitcher.
Only 12 challenges from pitchers across the majors this year, none from the Dodgers. It's a ball on Dalen Lyle. To wrap up Gil Hodges, though, he, after that 1952 World Series where he's a 0, gets off to a brutal start the next year too. Folks are still loving on him, though. He's their guy. Fly ball to left field for Call. 2 out. So they put together all the photographs that they had of him swinging and looked at the pictures from back when he was good versus the ones taken in games where he was struggling, and did very early day, basically what is now video analysis of his swing, and identified a few flaws from those pictures that helped him unlock his swing and hit 40 home runs that following season. And then when the Dodgers finally did win it all, 1955 in Game 7, it was Gil Hodges, who had struggled so much 3 years before that knocked in the 2 runs. C.J. Abrams taking ball 2. Gil, of course, went on to manage. He managed here in Washington, managed the Senators, and then famously the New York Mets, 1969, a couple years after they were the worst. The amazing Mets led him to a world championship. End of the story is a tragic one, though. He died of a heart attack 2 days shy of his 48th birthday. Still managing the Mets at that point, so didn't get to enjoy his induction into Cooperstown. That didn't even happen until the Veterans Committee voted him in 2021. Abrams taking high ball 4. That's one of the ways that the Hall of Fame can be just a magical thing, where in a way it brings somebody back to life.
Mark Pryor with a little visit here. Glasnow with only his 2nd walk. That's his 3rd walk of the season. If you go back to last year at his first 2 starts, he had 8 walks in those first 2 starts. So he is definitely in the zone much better in 2026 so far than he was in 2025. And he's done a nice job since they scored their last run. He retired 7 in a row before that walk.
Pitch count per innings escalated a little bit, though. We were looking at maybe getting through 7 first couple innings of the game. Well, bearing down on 100 here with 2 gone in the 6th, and Curtis Mead, who knocked in Washington's second run with a double, and it's been the biggest thorn in Glasnow's side today, fouling off a bunch of pitches, working long at bats.
He threw 90 pitches in his first outing, now at 97.
Pops the mitt with 97, strike 2.
One more pitch to finish your outing. Probably a curveball would be the icing on the cake.
That's what it was. Mead laid off. This has kind of been the story today. He's been able to get the 2 strikes on Mead, but Mead has fouled off several pitches before striking out his first time and before doubling his second time. So now the 1-2. Back to the curve. Another take. 2-2. Already the most strikeouts for a Dodger pitcher this year. The 8th that Glasnow has.
He's tried the curveball twice. It just started too far to the left-hand batter's box, so it's never been a strike to end up a ball. It's been a ball and ends up a ball. If you throw it again, start it on the plate.
How about a fastball to come back and clip the corner? 9 strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow today, and a 9-2 lead for his Dodgers. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Back here in Washington, D.C., Tyler Glasnow 6 innings, strikes out 9. The 9 Ks for Glasnow and 9 runs of support. Gus Varland is on for the 2nd day in a row. Strike 1 on Freeland. Varland pitched 2/3 of an inning yesterday. Faced 5 hitters, 3 of them reached. Was able to get out of that unscathed. Fastball catches the outside corner. 0-2.
Somebody like Gus Varland, you're going to get a lot of opportunities in this bullpen. You got a chance to change the way your career is looked upon.
Strikes out Freeland on 3 pitches. Yeah, first time pitching in the majors in 2 years. It was all AAA for him last year. The kind of guy where you come to a struggling franchise and one that's rebuilding. What a perfect place to be. as he tries to take advantage of those many opportunities he's sure to get. In with strike one on Alex Call. Gus is now 29 years old. Maplewood, Minnesota. Family had a big drywall company. Been there for several decades, couple generations. And before Gus and Louie broke into the majors, that was how they paid a lot of their bills, as they would work in the off seasons as drywall guys for the family company. So everybody that's around these two talk about how hard of workers they are and develop that through that. Call reaches out and drags us along the line, foul. And from Maplewood, Minnesota to a Division II school, Concordia University.
A tough day in the big leagues is better than a day drywalling, I guess, and that will make you really concentrate when you have the reality of that right in your face.
The 14th round draft pick was Varlin. Made it to the big leagues with the Dodgers 2023. Two and two on Call. Varlin throws.
We spent the day watching Tyler Glasnow and his height and leverage and how he keeps it to keep good angles on his pitches, and especially with his curveball and his fastball and slider with that downward movement. Varlin gives away his height by collapsing his back knee, and then everything comes out level. If I was working with him, I'd tell him to stay tall. You see how that back knee just completely collapses as he goes down the hill. The thing that should make you shorter for me is the fact that just you're spreading your legs and your knees gets lower and lower with the spreading of your legs as you go down the hill. But he actually intentionally collapses that back leg, which makes him come out really level.
Call slaps one down the right field line, his second hit of the ball game. Wood stumbles into foul ground trying to cut it off, and Calls into second with a double.
Watch how level this pitch is out of his hand. It's a fastball that never really changes height. So the mound could help you throw it downhill, but look at it, it's dead straight, right on the barrel the whole time, never changing height. So if he would stay tall and not collapse his back knee, he would have some angle to the delivery. And a four-seam fastball is a moving fastball because of the angle you deliver it at to get on and off the barrel. But if you come and collapse and throw it level, the ball never leaves the plane of the barrel.
Varlin to Ohtani, outside corner for a strike. How about the guys that talk about liking that upshoot fastball with the tough to pick up low release point?
If you want to throw up in the strike zone, that's fine. Yeah, collapse it all you want and throw it kind of uphill with good spin rate. But he's not throwing at that velocity, and even his breaking ball doesn't have the same tilt to it for me because he's given away his angles. The other things that happen is when you bend your knee that far out over your toe of the same leg, you're locking up your hip, and now your hips can't move as fast, so he's actually losing velocity from you too.
Strikes out Ohtani. 2 out.
It doesn't mean you can't pitch. I just don't think you're reaching your potential.
A hit and 2 walks for Kyle Tucker today. So on base 6 times this weekend. Guy that has always just been able to flat out hit. Out of the Tampa area. First round draft pick out of high school. Flat out hit into right. Call headed home. Wood's throw is way up the line. Double digits again. Tucker 2 for 2 with a pair of walks. 10-2 LA.
What pressure, what contract. I just play ball. Squares this one up nicely. Every hit, every day, more relaxation, more feeling comfortable in the Dodger locker room, the Dodger uniform, and Dodger Stadium.
Strike on Rojas. We were talking about Pages able to break into a older clubhouse. I mean, Tucker was able to do the same thing in Houston. You think about the guys that were on those teams when he came up. And Rojas upset with himself, down 0-2. But he had Correa and Altuve and Yordan Alvarez and Michael Brantley. And here came this sweet swinging lefty. Able to establish himself even in a room full of established guys. Ground ball left side, cut off by House. Gets Rojas and ends the 7th. Dodgers add on with a base hit from Tucker. Stand and stretch. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Tyler Glasnow today goes 6 innings, and here's how he got the outs on StatCast. Curveball was working for him in both fastballs.
Yeah, and you see the elevation of most of those fastballs. He used the four-seamer to set up those curveballs. He was really good today.
Call to the bullpen brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. It's Tanner Scott who had his first blemish, giving up a home run to Jose Ramirez at the end of the homestand. But this has been one of the positive early season developments. Tanner Scott looking more like the guy that they signed to that big contract. Kind of the face of a bigger story, and that is the bullpen making everybody smile early on.
The bullpen has been outstanding, very consistent. The guys who come through that gate, that pitch right there has really worked well for him. That slider to the glove side, been able to locate it over there. But now we're in a count where he wants to really seriously improve these 2-strike counts. Too many strikes, not enough chase pitches.
Bugaboo for him last year, and then Ramirez's home run came with 2 strikes.
He was trying to go fastball up and in and didn't get it there.
The hitter's Bibas. It's the bottom of the Nationals order here with Millis and Young to follow. Scott's 1-2 pitch. Bibas up the middle with a base hit and another 2-strike hit against Scott.
Let's take a look at the location of this slider compared to the one that he threw on the corner the pitch before. You want him to go into order of good to better, not good to worse. And I think this one isn't there. Yeah, it just doesn't get there. It's a 1-2 count. This has got to be black or ball, the edge of the plate or a ball, and that's a ball or two on the plate.
The catcher, Millis. Ball 1.
This is the pitch before the hit. See Will's glove, and you see where it is. It's like just nicking the strike zone, so you got to go there or farther away, because you've taught the hitter a little bit of a lesson on, when I see that spin, this is which direction the ball's going and where it's headed. So he sees the same exact spin, but the ball doesn't end up in as good a location, so the hitter has a better chance of hitting it. You just trained him with the pitch before. It doesn't mean they're not going to swing and miss. It doesn't mean they're not going to ground out or pop up. It doesn't mean they might even strike out, but the odds, the probability of you get them out are not as good.
He's got another guy to 2 strikes here. Late hitting catcher. See if Scott can finish him off. That's good right there, huh?
Real good. Looks like a low fastball and then just buries. And he has the reputation now that he will continue to go after you in the strike zone, so you can use that reputation of they're still expecting a ball close or a strike and make them chase. They're going to start the bat a lot earlier with 2 strikes against him than other pitchers.
Jacob Young, ball 1. Yeah, it's so much of his career. The issue is the other way around. Walks, not enough strikes. Bouncer left side. Young's really fast. Could be tough to turn 2, but they are just short of it. Going 6-4 and then bang bang, not quite 3.
Miggy makes that so sweet. Perfect throw to the chest for Freeland. Good turn, just too much speed, but well done by the Dodger infielders.
So the inning stays alive. Flips around to the top of the order in James Wood. 0 for 3 today, 1 for 7 in this series with 4 more strikeouts. Think back to the start of Tanner Scott's career. Walks are such a problem that he had years of going back and forth between the majors and the minors. That was with Baltimore, who were not very good. Those Orioles teams are losing 110 games a year. Then he goes to Miami, becomes the closer there. He's always had stuff that moves, but started to command it there in Miami. This is 1-1 to Wood. Down and away, ball 2. He's given a lot of credit to the pitching coach when he was there, Mel Stottlemyre Jr., helping him turn around his career. Wood with a smash up the middle that basically knocks over Rojas, and from his seat throws him out. Miguel Rojas, no way. What a play.
A bullet up the middle. Thinking about second. Nope, I got to go the long way.
one day after the Dodgers scored 13 times on 16 hits. Not quite that, but nothing to scoff at. 10 runs on 15 hits. So 23 in the 2 games here in D.C.
Their OPS as a team now is hovering around 850. Came into yesterday's game just above 650. So they've really taken the offense through the roof.
Pedal to the metal these 2 days. Cole Henry trying to get back on the beam. The ERA is spotless, but against the Phillies on Wednesday faced 5 hitters, 4 of them reached. Phillies made a comeback from down 5-1. Freeman, first 2 pitches he saw today, smacked for doubles to right center field. Both of them bringing in 2 runs. So his average up to 250. 2:14 when the day started. 1 ball, 2 strikes on him. Down swinging on a high fastball. Henry, a rare reliever that'll throw that fastball more than half the time.
Got a sweeper and a cutter also, but yeah, he likes the heater.
Across baseball, 4-seamers getting used less and less. Guys are throwing them harder and harder, but less and less often.
Pendulum is swinging back.
Will Smith takes upstairs, ball 1. The league throwing 4-seamers just over 30% of the time. Been an uptick in sinkers, been an uptick in cutters. Fly to center field. Young the call and the catch. Two away in the 8th for Max Muncy, who comes up there 1 for 4.
Hitters went through the adjustment of trying to lift the ball and get it in the air more often, and then all of a sudden we lost the shift. They still shift as much as they can, but they've cut down on that. And then pitchers were pitching up with the 4-seamer because they were trying to lift, so they were striking them out or getting a pop-up up there. Now the hitters are switching again and the pitchers are switching again.
It's a back and forth that has been waged since the start of the game back in the 1800s.
I played with Eddie Murray, and Eddie and I used to talk pitching and hitting, and he was one of the Hall of Famers for me that changed his batting stance on what pitch the pitcher was going to use.
Henry with an impressive inning right there. Bookend K's against the heart of the lineup. Don't forget to stay with us when the game finishes. Access SportsNet Dodgers, presented by Mercury Insurance, is coming up. MVP, most valuable, Pages. Jerry says another home run today, another multi-hit game for Andy Pages. As Ben Kasparius comes on to pitch the 8th inning for the Dodgers.
And getting back-to-back days of work. One punch out yesterday.
And a 1-2-3 9th inning, finish off that 13-6 win. Won by 7 in the first game, lead by 8 here. He's in there with strike 1 on Luis Garcia.
With a 1 o'clock game tomorrow, maybe they'll give him 2 innings.
1:30, just to be clear.
1:30. Sorry, apologize. I want people to watch the pregame show.
That's well done. On Easter Sunday.
Ooh.
What they get?
Umpires have padding on the tops of their shoes, and I think that one got the very toe. No, he was just hopping out of the way.
Ripped to right field. Luis Garcia has been the star of the offensive show for the Nationals this weekend. Double, triple, now single. And 5 hits total this weekend.
Bell tie just matches it, hits the line drive. Now if you're Ben Kasparius, you're looking for a ground ball double play.
Got a little cue shot foul off of the bat of Brady House. From outside Atlanta and Winder, Georgia. Down 0-2.
Right back away. His front shoulder pulled out very early.
Same thing. Struck him out, one gone.
You can read foul balls, you can read swings. A lot of times it's your catcher that can pick that up, and you can pick it up as a pitcher after you deliver the ball. Something in the image all of a sudden just doesn't look right. That it's not, that wasn't a good swing. What was it? Yeah, it was his shoulder.
1-on-1 out. Dylan Lyle ripping a miss and an elevated cutter. Ben Kasparius trying to get back to what he was early on last year. He was as good as anybody out of the Dodger bullpen. 4-0 the first couple months, 2.5 ERA. Moved him into the rotation, which was a blessing, but maybe became a curse when it started going back and forth, and he was kind of paired with Ohtani as Ohtani was building up with his very rigid build up. Curve lands and it's 0-2.
Great job right here, like Glasnow, getting ahead of hitters. Give up the hit, but get right back in the strike zone.
A 1-2 pitch to Dalen Lyle. Got it along first. We'll do it again. Two and two. So Kasparius just struck out Brady House, the 22-year-old, now the 23-year-old Dalen Lyle. Hitting 3 and 4 for a major league team, and they've been friends playing travel ball together, summer ball circuit back to their teenage years. Roommates coming up through the system. 3-2 on Lyle out of Louisville, Kentucky. Flies it to left center field. Call is there. 2 out in the 8th.
If you're talking old-fashioned hardball, which is fastballs, sinkers, and cutters, Nats have gone 3 for 16, maybe 3 for 17 on that last pitch. Not real well against the hard stuff. The Dodgers have gone 14 for 32 with 4 extra base hits.
Eesh.
You want to play hardball where nobody can throw breaking balls? The Dodgers will hit right with you.
These 2 days have been a overcompensation for the lack of offense on the homestand. You're going to look at it after what'll now be 8 games, and everything's going to look like it probably should have. Abrams, who's walked twice, takes strike 2. $11 Ks for Dodger pitching. The 9 from Glass now, 2 out of the pen. Flied to deep right field. Tucker headed for the corner. That ball is headed for the foul pole and gone. Second day in a row, 3rd game in a row that C.J. Abrams has gone deep.
The curveball has worked all day for the Dodger pitching staff, especially Glasnow's, but this one is left up. And he's out in front because of the speed, but because it's hanging, there's enough swing left and enough power left to keep it fair and hit the foul pole. Why does a ball that hits the foul pole fair?
So 10-4. Strike on Meade. And that spoils the day for Kasperius. First runs that he's given up this year. There's 9 home runs for C.J. Abrams against the Dodgers in his career. At third, Muncy's got it. 10-8. Abrams, though, with a home run. On to the 9th we go, 10-4. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor. Serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes since 1954. Andy Pages, appointment television at this point, hooks one down the left field line foul. 2 more hits today, including another home run. Touch below 500 for the year. Henry's ahead 0-2. After 1-2-3 8th inning, struck out Freddie Freeman, struck out Max Muncy, and now he's got the hottest Dodger in an 0-2 hole.
2 really good pitches to get to this 0-2 count. Slider low and away, and then ran a fastball in on him. Andy gets a hit in this at bat. He is really locked in because this is the worst place for a hitter in an 0-2 count. When you get the breaking ball low and away, you get a foul ball, and then he comes in on your hands. It's like you can throw him almost anything.
5 straight multi-hit games for Pages. Oh, baby.
Wow.
Got his bat on it. Sinking. Oh. There you go. Confirmation. He's really hot.
Yeah, he's hitting with good fortune on this one, but he's hit a lot of bullets. This is his weakest hit, his 15th on the year. 15 hits, and this is what? Our 8th game?
Yep. Do no wrong. Ball on Freeland. So they've matched the hit total from yesterday. So is Pages himself. He's got 6 in the 2 days. Freeland smacks one up the middle. Abrams goes to first still, and now to second. Pages wasn't sure, I guess, that ball had skipped, and so he paused at first.
Yeah, he froze on a line drive. Might have been something that if he picked it up a little bit better, then he could have realized it was going to bounce.
I guess Abrams just didn't have enough time, or didn't think that the second baseman was going to be there. Or... So into scoring position goes Pages. They get Freeland at first, and up comes Alex Cause, taking advantage of his first chance this year with 2 hits, a run batted in, and a run scored. Call it a Ball State. Good Mac product. Like yourself. Pop up on the diamond. Henry says, okay, take it. Meade flying in there, calling it 2 away. One more chance for Ohtani on a day where he's got a hit and a walk. He struck out twice, though.
Every place in the Dodger batting order has reached base. The only guy that hasn't gotten a hit is the guy who subbed for Mookie Betts.
I said hit and a walk, or I'm sorry.
What's that?
2 hits.
2 hits, yeah. Need Ohtani to get on, Tucker to get on, and Rojas to get a shot, so everybody would have reached base, including himself.
Hey!
When you watch a great hitter like Ohtani take a fastball right down the middle, you got to believe he was anticipating something else before 2 strikes, sitting on a different pitch.
pulled the trigger on that fastball, and it's 2-2.
Every 2-strike count, he does an adjustment and calls his timeout. We might have to nickname it the Ohtani.
Pounds this one into the ground at second base. Bebas over to first and the top of the 9th. Dodgers 3 outs away from a series win. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers. Discover the complete Ford lineup, rugged, stylish, and powerful trucks and SUVs engineered for your adventures. Dodgers offense going crazy again. 10 runs on 16 hits today. Edgardo Enriquez pitched an inning yesterday, gave up a couple runs. Back out there trying to finish this game. They scored 23 runs on the homestand. They've got 23 runs in the 2 games here. On the verge of a 6-2 start. And a look for the sweep tomorrow. Roki Sasaki taking the ball against Foster Griffin. Bebas fouls off Enriquez's first pitch. I think Sasaki's first start in a vacuum, not overly impressive, but sigh of relief, I think, that it wasn't bad after a lot of the spring. Not pretty.
You want to get off to a hot start as a hitter or a pitcher. What they were looking with Sasaki was a step forward, and that's what they got. It wasn't impressive. It wasn't like, wow, this is going to be a great year for him, but moving forward closer to where he wants to be. Only 103 on that 2-seamer.
Jeez.
His 2-seamer is harder than his 4-seamer as of right now. 4-seamer's averaging around 99.8, and the 2-seamer sinkers averaging 100.
Such is life in the big leagues right now. You're down 6. The 9th inning, game's over. Pitch clock violation here, and you got to face the guy throwing 103. This is the guy coming on to mop up.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Dodgers, the only team in the division with a winning record at this point. The Giants, the Diamondbacks, both 3-5. Padres and Rockies both 2-5. Brewers, top team in the National League, at 6-1. Playing a doubleheader today. They won the first game against Kansas City. Over in the American League, it's the Yankees at 6-1, out ahead of the pack. Hit him. Either way, he's going to be on. And you can hear the home plate umpire Doug Edding saying it doesn't matter. You either hit or it's ball 4. Go take your base.
You would hope a mop-up man that's throwing 100 would have command. Did they rule it was a walker, hit by pitch? How do we score it? It does matter for that point.
That's true. They ruled it a walk.
Okay.
You got a preference as a pitcher?
Not really. All right. Probably hit by pitch. Change your strikeout to walk ratio.
Millis, the catcher, flies it foul.
I think a hit by pitch should be included in your strikeout to walk ratio. Just lump them together.
Nothing in 2.
Just a little 96-mile-an-hour cutter.
Tapped along first. Freeman will step on the bag. They get the first out of the 9th inning. Up to second goes Bibas. And a pinch hitter coming to the plate here, Jose Tena. A 25-year-old from the Dominican Republic looks at ball 1. Tena's played 115 games over parts of 3 seasons in the major leagues, going from Cleveland to Washington a couple years back. Hey. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2. 10-4, Dodgers in front in the 9th inning. 2 outs away from wrapping this thing up. Edwin Diaz getting a little work in. Wave and a miss over a cutter. 2-2. Enriquez fires. Tena pops it foul. Into the seats. A couple great crowds this weekend here in D.C. It was a packed house for opening day. Another really good crowd for the second day. Beautiful place.
Hope we get this lucky with the weather all year.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Three and 2. Tena to first off Freeman's glove into right field. Bibas headed home. He will score. 10-5. Nats have gotten a few here in the late innings against the pen.
This is going to be ball 4. Gets in and might have broken his bat. Freddie almost gets it in his glove.
To Henriquez, 3 runs allowed in his inning plus this weekend. James Wood, 1 for 8 in the 2 games. Takes a strike from Henriquez. James Wood at 6'6", 235. Modeled his swing after Barry Bonds as a kid. So just because I'm big and strong doesn't mean I have to have a big long swing. Try to make it short like Barry. And he said for a lot of his childhood he had no choice because it was cold growing up in Maryland. He had to hit inside. He couldn't have a long swing because there were walls he would hit. On a 2-1 from Henriquez, power matchup. Swings and misses. 2-2. Little high.
Just a skosh.
Bouncing ball to Freddie Freeman, steps on the bag, throws to second, tag play to end the game. Dodgers win 10-5. Offense again, fireworks.
Freddie on the bag, throws it, misses the runner. Let's see the tag by Miggy. Looks like he gets it right in front of the bag and gets his toe.
This has been a little more like it.
They didn't win by a toe, they won by a mile. But it was another nice one, and that guy wearing number 44 is really hot.
Another home run for Pages. Another big day for the offense. 23 runs in 2 games this weekend, matching what they did the entire season opening homestand. Now it's Roki Sasaki looking for the sweep. 10:30 Los Angeles time tomorrow against Foster Griffin, the lefty for the Nationals. For Oral and Kirsten and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Washington, D.C. Stay tuned for Access SportsNet Dodgers and have a great rest of your Saturday.
Ready when you are, Mike. Okay, 1 second. Oh.